Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright, Browns fans, hold on tight because the NFL offseason has been anything but quiet, and the latest developments in the Browns' quarterback competition are sparking serious buzz across the league. We all know how important the quarterback position is, especially for a team like Cleveland that's been eager to return to playoff prominence and beyond. This offseason, the Browns have been tinkering, testing different options, trying to find that perfect fit under center, and now, with the latest update, things are starting to get clearer, at least in terms of who's leading the race, even if the picture isn't perfectly painted just yet. So, what's the latest? Well, it's all about the quarterback competition and how recent injuries and performances are shaping the depth chart. As of Saturday's practice, Kenny Pickett, who earlier in camp had been a strong contender, was sidelined due to an injury, at least temporarily removing him from the competition. Now, this isn't necessarily the end of Pickett's chances, but it does open the door for others to step up, and that's where things get interesting. With Pickett out, the spotlight has shifted, and we've seen some promising signs from the rookies, Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Both rookies had their moments, but Sanders, in particular, has been turning heads with what many are calling his best practice so far. It's the kind of performance that naturally gets fans excited and creates some buzz about whether he might be able to push for that starting spot sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel has been quietly making a case for himself, showing he's got the talent and poise to compete at this level, even if he's still behind in the pecking order compared to the veteran presence of Joe Flacco. And speaking of Flacco, he's the veteran in the room, and according to head coach Kevin Stefanski, he's set to get the majority of the first-team reps in Week 2 of training camp. That's a pretty significant detail, because it indicates that Flacco is still viewed as the frontrunner, at least for now, and that the team is leaning on that veteran experience to guide the offense through this critical period. Stefanski made it clear that the distribution of reps will depend on the drill and what the team is working on, but the fact that Flacco is getting most of the first-team reps is notable. It's a strong signal that, despite the competition, the coaching staff is still leaning towards Flacco as the go-to guy, at least until the preseason games provide more clarity. Interestingly, Stefanski also mentioned that the team wouldn't be splitting reps evenly anymore, as they did in Week 1, which suggests they're trying to evaluate more precisely who can step up and challenge Flacco's lead. Now, this decision isn't entirely surprising. Flacco, with his experience and leadership, has been a steadying presence, especially in a team that still has some young, unproven talent behind him. But it does raise a lot of questions. Will Sanders, with his impressive practice showings, eventually earn more reps? Could Gabriel's talent and composure give him a shot to leapfrog ahead? And of course, how much will these reps influence the eventual depth chart heading into the preseason and regular season? The Browns' offensive outlook this season is quite intriguing. They've assembled a talented roster, especially on the offensive line and skill positions, and the quarterback's performance will be crucial. The team's coaching staff wants a guy who can command the offense, make smart decisions, and lead the team effectively. Flacco's veteran savvy is undeniable, and even if he's not the flashiest player, his leadership and experience can be vital, especially in high-pressure moments. But Cleveland also invested in Sanders, a young quarterback with a lot of potential, and Gabriel, who has shown flashes of talent and poise in the past. So it's a battle that's still very much open, even if Flacco currently holds the edge. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The Browns haven't been shy about their ambitions. After making the playoffs last season, they're eager to take that next step and become serious contenders in the AFC. The quarterback position is always a key factor in that pursuit, and the fact that Cleveland has 4 guys vying for the starting role, even if Pickett is temporarily out of the picture, shows the level of competition and the desire to find the right fit. It's rare to see this kind of competition at this stage of training camp, especially with so many rookies involved. Usually, teams lean heavily on a veteran or a clear-cut starter, but Cleveland's approach indicates they want to give everyone a fair shot, even if the veteran has a slight advantage early on. And let's not forget the upcoming preseason game, which is just over a week and a half away. That's going to be the real testing ground for these quarterbacks. The coaching staff will be watching closely to see how each one performs under game conditions, how they manage the offense, handle pressure, and make decisions. It's a critical point because, at this stage, practice reps are valuable, but nothing replicates the intensity and unpredictability of a real game. The results of that game could very well influence how the coaching staff adjusts the reps going forward and who they ultimately trust to lead the team when it counts. It's also worth mentioning that Cleveland's decision to focus more on Flacco in the early stages of camp could symbolize a strategic move. Flacco's experience could be seen as stabilization, especially as young quarterbacks like Sanders and Gabriel continue to develop. It's a common approach: let the veterans set the tone, provide leadership, and gradually ease the young guns into larger roles. But the competition is far from over. Sanders and Gabriel are talented enough to seize opportunities if given the chance, and their performances in the coming weeks will be vital. The Browns are in a unique position where they can afford to be patient, but at the same time, they're aware that the window for making a playoff push is closing if they don't get the quarterback situation sorted out swiftly. Now, let's talk a little about the potential implications. If Flacco continues to get the majority of the reps and performs well in the preseason, it could set the tone for the entire season, giving the Browns a steady hand at quarterback. But if Sanders or Gabriel start to shine in the upcoming games, the coaching staff might have to reconsider, perhaps giving them more opportunities to prove they can be the future of this franchise. Cleveland fans are always passionate about their team, and the quarterback battle is always a hot topic. It's a mix of hope, patience, and anticipation. Everyone wants a franchise quarterback, and right now, the Browns are exploring all options to find theirs. Looking back at the team's recent history, Cleveland has had its share of quarterback struggles, from the days of Johnny Manziel to the more recent quest for stability post-Baker Mayfield. The organization knows how crucial it is to get this right, and that's why they're taking their time in evaluating these young talents. Flacco's experience, combined with the potential of Sanders and the talent of Gabriel, creates a dynamic that could define the Browns' season. If they manage to find their guy early, it could accelerate their playoff ambitions and perhaps even give them a shot at a deep run. But of course, everything hinges on the performances in training camp and preseason. The next few weeks are going to be pivotal. Will Sanders' impressive practice translate into meaningful game action? Can Gabriel overcome the odds and earn more reps? Or will Flacco's veteran savvy maintain his lead? These are the questions that every Browns fan is asking right now, and the answers will come soon enough. As we look ahead, what's clear is that Cleveland is back in a competitive, high-stakes quarterback battle, and that's exciting. It's a sign that the team is serious about winning, about building a roster that can contend for a Super Bowl. The coaching staff's decisions in the coming weeks will be scrutinized, debated, and analyzed by fans and analysts alike. But one thing is for sure, Cleveland is making the most of this opportunity to find the best possible quarterback to lead them into the future. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Flacco's experience will carry the team all season, or do you see Sanders or Gabriel eventually taking the reins? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Keep the passion alive, and let's see how this quarterback battle unfolds together. The season is just around the corner, and the Browns are certainly making things interesting. Thanks for sticking with me, Browns fans, and I'll see you in the next update.